Okay, let's take a look at Notes 2.5. We're going to talk about solving linear systems to solve word problems, basically. So remember, the theory is we're going to come up with two equations, and those two equations are going to have two variables, and they're not always going to be x or y. And if we have two equations and two variables, we're going to use a couple of techniques to solve it. One, we might use substitution, and the second one we might use is elimination. So let's dive right into the first problem and take a look at it, see what we have. It says a shipping company charges a fixed amount for their services and a certain amount per mile that they must travel. And so if a 50-mile trip costs $112, so we have our first equation. We'll do that one in red. So we have $112 for our total cost, and it's 50 miles, right? So it's 50 miles. And an 80-mile trip cost $157. So we have $157. Let's do this one in purple. So we have $157, and that's going to equal to an 80-mile trip. And we're trying to find the fixed cost. So let's just use the letter F. Let's go back and do this in red. So we have a fixed cost, and the purple equation also has a fixed cost. And the fixed cost is going to be the same for both of them. So we're trying to figure out the fixed cost and the mileage cost, which is the variable m. So if you look at these equations, you have 50 m's and you have 80 m's in the purple equation, and you have a single f in both the red and the purple equation. So let's just take this purple equation and solve for the letter f. So if we subtract 80m from both sides, we get fixed cost is equal to $157 minus 80m. Okay, so we're going to take this, what f is equal to in purple, and we're going to plug it into the red equation. So we'll just rewrite it. 112 equals 50. There's the letter m, and there's the letter f. So we're just going to put a parentheses there, and then we're going to fill in what it's equal to from the purple equation. So we have 157 minus 80m. Okay, so let's take a look at that. And the parentheses here you can see isn't doing anything because there's just a plus 1 in front of there. So we'd end up with 112. Let's do this in red. We have 112 is equal to 50m plus 157 minus 80m. Well, you can see that we have an m here and we have a minus 80m here, so altogether we have a negative 30m. So we'll do that right here, minus 30m, and then we're going to move 157 over by subtracting it. Okay, so 157, and what would that equal? Well, we're going to end up with a negative quantity, right? So we end up with 45, and we have a 30m negative. So if we divide that out, divide by negative 30, you're going to get a mileage charge of, we could divide that fraction by 15 over, both of them by 15, so we would end up with 3 over 2. So the mileage charge is $1.50, because that's equal to 1.5, right? So we have $1.50 per mile, pretty expensive. And then all we're going to do is take our M equals $1.50, and plug it into, let's plug it into the purple equation. So to find the fixed cost, we're going to take 157 minus 80, there's the letter M, so we're going to put in $1.50, or just 1.5, and that equals the fixed cost. So it's a 1.5. So 80 times 1.5 is 120, so we have 157 minus 120 equals the fixed cost, and therefore the fixed cost is $37. Okay, so half the battle is just figuring out what the equation is, and then setting up your two separate equations and then solving. Okay,